Hey there YouTube, today I'll be giving you a video on how to string up the STX Proton Power. There's not a lot of videos on YouTube on how to string the Proton Power up, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a video on it. The Proton Power really doesn't have a lot of holes, that's why it's so hard to get a nice pocket in there. Let's see how many holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so 10 holes, really you can only use about 8 or 9. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and start out on the second hole, and I just like to make it nice and tight, so I go to the bottom of the mesh hole and come back through the outside of the wall in the same hole, and then pull it nice and tight. You want to have a nice tight channel. And now what I'm gonna do is start to the back of that sidewall hole and go up to the bottom of the mesh hole, like so. And then I'm gonna do something here, and it's called the K-knot. So once you have that done, you're gonna go through the back of that loop and pull it nice and tight. And that makes it kind of like locked and doesn't come loose and makes it for a nice channel. So you're gonna go to the next hole and do that same exact thing. So the back of the sidewall hole, up through the bottom of the mesh hole, and then you're gonna go through, instead of going through the front, you're gonna go through that back of that loop and pull it nice and tight, like that. And that makes for a nice tight channel. Now what we're gonna do is called a one interlock. So we're gonna go on, instead of going through the sidewall this time, we're gonna go straight through the bottom of that mesh. Pull that nice and tight. And then we're gonna go through the back of that next sidewall hole. And up through the bottom of that next mesh hole. And through that loop. And pull that nice and tight. Like so. So you got that K, one interlock. And that one interlock makes for a nice pocket. Now we're gonna do what's called a triple up. We're gonna go through the bottom of the next mesh hole, the bottom of that next mesh hole after that, and the bottom of the next mesh hole after that. And we're gonna pull it nice and tight, and it bunches up the mesh, makes a nice deep pocket into the bottom of that next mesh hole, and come out around that. Make sure you pull that nice and tight. Now what we're gonna do is just single out the rest of the way. Single as you go to the bottom of that next mesh hole. Pull that nice and tight. And just through the back of the next sidewall hole. And just go through the loop. You don't need to go through that next mesh hole. Pull it nice and tight. Do the same thing for the next mesh hole. Just go through the bottom of it. And then through the back of that sidewall hole. And through that loop. Pull that nice and tight. And now we're just gonna go ahead and go through the next mesh hole, through the top of it, and then through the inside of the second to last sidewall hole, and pull it nice and tight. And then what you want to do is go ahead onto the other side. I've actually already done it, but do the exact same thing. You really want to make it so it's pulled, each and every one of these sidewall holes is the same as the other side. So, and that makes it nice and even and makes a Nice packet. So there you go, YouTube. That's how to string a mid packet in Proton Power. I will be giving videos on how to string a shooter string. So yeah, there you go.